Welcome to the Funeral Nation web show, the best effing web show. Welcome everybody to Funeral Nation episode 31, powered by the Fast Funding Group. I am Ryan Thogmartin. That is Jeff, the Funeral Commander Harbison. Jeff, you've settled in your new home, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I'm out here in the wonderful Wild West in Phoenix. As you can see, I'm in a new office here, a new command post. I'm working on getting a location where I can go back to my normal libation. Of course, we're very early in the morning, so I'm not quite sure I'm going to be drinking that much and smoking a cigar at this time of the day. However, it's not possible.
This could create some logistics issues on the smoking and drinking part of our show here.
Well, there's a few things I have to deal with. I got those two things, and I'm going to have to find somebody to fix my hair. So don't think that there's not trouble when you make a transition like this.
Well, for all you that are watching 31 and you don't know what we're talking about, please check out episode 30 where the funeral commander made a big reveal on his new locale and new full-time position with the Foresight Company. So
yep, it's cool. Exciting. We got a lot of stuff to do out here, and all of us together. Everything keeps going and gets bigger. Our reach gets bigger, Ryan.
That's right. And I'm pinned up in a library. I'm on the road this week, so I found a library with halfway decent Wi-Fi and got a tutor room. So that's why the background looks different here. So we're coming to you from all over the world, FNers. All right, Jeff, what do we got on episode 31 today?
Yeah, for our next show, for the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to interview one of the guys from Omneo, which is a really cool product for cremation solutions in the market. The spotlight on the funeral director comes to us from Florida. And WTF depicts, DIY, do it yourself, or is it reminiscent of Lampoon's Vacation? So I think you'll enjoy it. So, Ryan, what's the buzz out here this week?
Jeff, probably the news has been slow, right? It always is after a convention, but we've got some heavy discussion brewing. There was an article put out last week by a very well-known pastor who writes a pretty popular blog titled "Should Christians Cremate Their Loved Ones?" And we shared that on Connecting Directors and on the connectingdirectors.com Facebook page, and it created quite a stir of conversation, really. Just, I fully believe the article that was written was a bit of a stretch, but it gave us a different perspective of looking at cremation and religion. But, it's one of those topics that I don't think there's ever going to be a clear-cut right and wrong answer. It's very opinion-based and preference, I think.
Right. Well, that's interesting you say that because it is faith-based, and religion, there's all sorts of different views there. With our country shifting away from organized religion, this causes another challenge for funeral directors. What do you typically do? What you typically did doesn't work typically today. Yeah. And more importantly, that's a struggle for the church because they're making changes. I can tell you from the Jewish faith, we're seeing some folks that are cremating now that never did before.
Right.
With Catholics, the same thing. So this is going to be an ongoing discussion. I would love to maybe have two or someone on here sometimes that we discuss that from different points of view. That'd be an interesting show.
It'd be very interesting. I like that idea, and we need to push forward with that. But yeah, it was a big conversation piece this week. Got a lot of engagement and pulled a lot of emotions. And you and I are both emotion guys, so we love it when whether it's good or bad, wild or crazy, whatever, when people are reacting, it's a good thing. So
hey, by the way, Ryan, this buzz was brought to us by Simple Funeral Payment Plan, which is powered by CareCap. That's a bit of a mouthful. These guys are the accounts receivable experts. You got to remember, if you haven't been paid, the funeral ain't over. Let's go ahead and roll that promo.
The funeral isn't over if you haven't been paid. Contact us at simplefuneralpaymentplan.com to find out how to become a $0 accounts receivable funeral home.
Jeff, on today's episode, we've got a really cool guest that's got a pretty sweet product that we saw at ICCFA and debuted last year at NFDA. So they've kind of been in the marketplace for about 8 months here in the U.S. Why don't you tell us who that guest is going to be?
Ryan, our guest today is Christian Cruz of Omneo Group, OMNEO. Omneo. So he's going to tell us more. Let's go ahead and roll that interview. Christian, welcome to the Funeral Nation TV show. Hey, man, I met you year before last at ICCFA. We smoked some cigars. You brought me some great rum, so I consider you a friend. Anybody that does that for me is a friend. But tell us a little about yourself and Omneo.
Well, thank you, Jeff and Ryan, for having me at FNTV. This is great, and happy to be here and to share what Omneo is about. In essence, Omneo was founded 4 years ago by two very good friends of mine, Bruno Mezcua and Inigo Zurita. Bruno is actually a fourth generation cemeterian, and he's an artist. He's a sculptor. And Inigo was a consultant with industry in the segment. And I joined them over a year ago. My background is consumer products and telecommunications. And Omneo is now commercially operating in Europe and in the US, and shortly we'll be launching in South America and Asia.
That's excellent. Big time.
Yeah, very exciting.
I got to see Omneo at, obviously ICCFA a few weeks ago, and then at NFDA last year. You know, Omneo is a very unique product, however, super smart product. Can you please share with us how it was developed, the product idea came about?
Yeah. So Bruno, he's the conceptual brain behind Omneo. And as a sculptor, he grew up around cemeteries, as it was his family's profession. And he actually learned the craft of sculpting by working at the Almudena Cemetery in Madrid. His life goal as an artist is immortality, just like any artist. You know, they want to create things that will live forever and basically beat death. And basically what he says is that, you know, being in the cemetery and seeing people leave the crematory with, you know, cardboard boxes that weren't very practical, or traditional urns that, you know, just screamed that, you know, it was a dead person. He always wondered not only who were those people and how they would be remembered, but also how can we make something more aesthetically pleasing and something that celebrates the life versus commemorates death. No?
Gotcha. Yep. Christian, we had a short live feed from you from ICCFA. I found it myself, which we'll post that on FN for people to watch. However, can you give us sort of a short synopsis of exactly how Omneo works and what it is?
Okay, so basically, Omneo, what Omneo thrives to do, and what it's trying to do, is to separate death from memorialization. Memorialization shouldn't be about a dead person. It should be about the life of that person. So we don't like to speak about death. We speak about life. And at the center of the Omneo as a concept is omlime.com, which is a social network for a celebration of life, for building a legacy that will live into the future, and at the same time to continue the growth of that life through shared stories and memories of family and friends. And all the Omneo products surrounding omlime.com have connectivity to omlime.com. Wow. Our memorial, I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Here you can see the memorials that we have, which is the Omneo Prime and the Omneo Cube. And these memorials are created with the cremated remains. It's a patented process where we solidify the cremated remains and embed it with a chip that allows you to connect to that Omlime profile, that legacy, that beautiful life of that person by simply tapping the phone, a smartphone on it.
Wow.
There you see it.
That's cool.
And here's I'll demonstrate a little bit how it works. Basically, you have your smartphone and you tap it, and it goes to the online memorial of that person. In this case, it was John Armstrong, and very similar to Facebook, it's a network. You can post pictures, you can post stories, comments. You can opt to receive reminders, and you can link these profiles to friends and family. So, for example, John was friends with Andrew, and you can click on Andrew and see Andrew's profile.
Excellent.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, so it's been a few years, and since Omneo launched, what has been the response from the funeral industry?
Well, as you know, the industry is in a process of evolution, and trying to really enter into this 21st century. So our product has been welcomed with open arms. The response has been extremely positive. We've signed contracts in Spain with the largest funeral home operator in Spain. Right now, here in the U.S., we just launched in November, and we've already secured distribution for the Midwest, the South, and the Southeast, and are looking to roll out to the Sun Belt and the West at some point at the end of this year.
Excellent. So, Christian, what can we expect to see from Omneo in the future? I mean, we're seeing you grow. You're obviously hitting the scene pretty hard here and being successful.
Yeah, well, Omneo is in constant development of new concepts, and we have a great pipeline of new products and services that are going to be relevant to today and future generations. Important to note is that Omneo is about the future, not about the past. So everything we do and develop is surrounding life and the future of life, and the improvement of future generations.
Very cool.
Cool.
Very cool. So, Christian, from an outsider's perspective, what are your thoughts about the funeral profession and cemetery industry?
Well, I'm as an outsider. I entered this a little bit over a year ago, almost 2 years ago. I've met people throughout the industry, from cemeterians to funeral home directors to embalmers, all sorts of people. And what I found is the industry is full of vocational people that truly love what they do and that they really want to serve families. And one of the things that I think is necessary in the industry is to change the mindset from basically offering a service and merchandise to really getting involved with families, becoming more of a grief counselor, where you can increase the lifetime value of that customer by not only serving them, but serving all their family and future generations to come. And you do that through meaningful memorialization and truly understanding what the family needs. And
that's great. In fact, we're going to see some of that on our segment today, a spotlight on a funeral director. We're getting ready to close up here. Two things I want to say. The first time I met Christian, I said, "So where are you from?" He said, "South Carolina." I said, "Shut up. You're not from South Carolina." Where'd you grow up in South Carolina, Christian?
No. My family is originally from South Carolina, and then they moved.
Yeah, because you sound just like you're from the Low Country, right?
Yeah, no. I grew up in Spain.
Okay.
I'm a son of an expat. So my dad lived in Spain, and I grew up there, and then came to school and university here. So
okay, well, you landed well, and our ratings would go up because he's a nice looking guy, So I want to close it up here, Christian. In closing, if you could wave a magic wand and change one thing or see our greatest need, what would it be in the industry?
I think recruiting young talent that can serve families in a multi-generational way.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Well, bro, that's part of what we're doing here is we're reaching from young folks to folks that are above my age group. But we're grateful. And I think what you created here is really a smart product. I mean, from A to Z. I would encourage people to visit Christian and the group at omneogroup.com and look for us. You'll see some more out of him in the near future, I think. Christian, thank you for being on this morning.
Thanks, Christian.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Out here.
Great interview, Jeff. You and I both love when we have a new product on and just pushing the innovation envelope. There's so much product being generated now around memorialization and the cemetery side of things. So it's very cool to see. This interview segment was brought to us by our sponsor, Memory Care by AP Laser. Let's roll that tape.
This FN segment was brought to you by Memory Care, powered by AP Laser. Memory Care is a life story etched forever. For more information, visit aplaser.com.
All right, Jeff, tell us who is our spotlight going to be shining on today?
Ryan, as you know, we like to share positive stories and shine a spotlight on funeral directors and funeral professionals also that make a difference in their communities as well as our profession. They do something good to make us look better, right? Because literally what we do, we work very hard at it. And this week we shine the spotlight on Matthew Buxton of Buxton and Bass Funeral Home and Crematory in Okeechobee, Florida. He had actually a friend that he coached softball with that his dad died, named Brad. And what he did, Brad's father was Bill Ferris, who was a gunner on a Huey in the Black Cats Regiment in Vietnam. So Brad came up with the idea and discussed it with Matthew about taking Dad to the cemetery in a Huey helicopter on his last ride. You see the picture there. It's just unbelievable. And what's even more interesting about this story, our sponsor, AP Laser Memory Care, had a U.S. flag, Black Cats patch, and cattle, because this guy was a cattle farmer, all on this casket as part of his memory care and memorialization for life. To me, this is a true testament of honoring a life lived. Certainly is a proper send-off for a veteran. And this is also a testament to Matthew for listening to families. Guys, you got to listen and be creative. Anyway, my hat's off to Matthew Buxton and his team for creativity. And this is a true display of professionalism. Spotlight's on you, Matt. Good job, champ.
Thank you, Matt. This great spotlight segment, is just another, like you said, Jeff, testament to professionalism and the good that's happening out in the profession. So our FNers, please keep sending us these spotlight segments. All right, well, now it's time to roll into our WTF segment, What the Funeral. This segment, as you know, is where we take a lighthearted, humorous look at our industry. And this is something our FNers will be talking about Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So, Jeff, when we saw this, I think in unison we both said, "What the funeral?"
Yeah, I don't think that they were. This looks like a Florida. Well, actually, I look on there and I think we see. Well, look at the emblem on the back. Isn't that a Florida State emblem? Right.
Yes, it is. Seminole.
So, right. So I guess they started the other end of the country for Christmas or vacation, going the opposite way, and they didn't set up in a chair. But could you imagine rolling down the highway and see this? I mean, it's hilarious.
Honk for grandma. I like the just no F's to give approach to throwing grandma in a casket up on top of a car. I kind of like
That's it. I mean, we're just not going to pay for that hearse. We can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, she won't fit in here. We'll throw her up there on the top.
It's definitely odd, but I wonder how many people honked, and I wonder how many people flipped them off. I bet there was quite a few that did.
Yeah, a little both and a lot going by. What the funeral?
Yeah, a lot of what the funeral. Another solid WTF segment. This segment was brought to us by Disrupt Media and the Disrupt You Show. Roll that promo.
At Disrupt Media, we're a social media content agency that focuses on storytelling for funeral companies. We use real stories to build creative strategies that achieve actual business goals. Want to learn more? Visit disruptmedia.co.
Well, Jeff, this wraps up episode 31. What is on deck for 32?
Well, we're going to have another interesting guest next week. I'm actually going to be traveling up in the Wisconsin, Chicago area. So I'll be once again out of the command post, cigarless, maybe, drinkless, maybe not. And then certainly we'll have a WTF and a fresh spotlight. So y'all stay tuned and look for what's coming next week because we haven't let you down yet.
That's right. We need to kind of get the rules changed in your office now. I mean, it's not the same show without smoke rolling and rum pouring and.
Well, I just want to keep people up. There he is. I'm still here,
Still
but
there.
your time over there is 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah.
It's not even an environmental thing. I just can't get loaded first thing in the morning. I'm sure Dan would love that walking in here. Smoke's going, and I'm loaded. Hey, buddy, how you doing this morning?
That's right.
Who are we going to help today?
Well,
so
Jeff,
I'll get caught up soon. Trust me.
You're going to be on the road next week. I'm on the road this week. And speaking of being on the road, we are actually taking the Funeral Nation show live on the road in June to the Texas Funeral Directors Association, where we're going to set up outside the convention and live stream the show a couple days with some commentary. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. So if you're anywhere close to Texas and you want to get rowdy, we encourage you to get a pass to the TFDA convention and come see the funeral commander and myself live in Texas as we really do the first full live broadcast show where we will stream the entire thing start to finish on Facebook. So it's going to be pretty exciting, Jeff. I'm pretty stoked about it.
I am too. We got a really cool sponsor. We're going to have him on a couple of weeks on top of that. That will be there. We'll be doing some live stuff too. So it's all good, man. We got great stuff.
It's going to be great. So don't forget to engage with us on Facebook. And we haven't done a plug yet to get people to subscribe, but please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we will, as we upload things there, you're going to get notifications of new episodes, and we want the engagement. We get comments from all of you whenever Jeff and I are out anywhere in the profession, and as well through email. So if you found any value in 1 second of any episode that we have done, we've done 31, so I'm sure there's been a few seconds of value somewhere. Please just leave us in a comment below. Let us know if you like the show. If you hate us, please tell us that too. So
that's it.
Jeff, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for making this happen so early in the morning. Look forward to chatting with you next week. So, FNers, until next time, have a great effing week.
Out here. Thank you.